COD Mobile is adding a competitive ranked mode in 2 weeks, and it bans half the stuff you're used to running. Wildcards are gone. Most perks are restricted. Over half the equipment is banned. Only 3 score streaks exist in the entire mode, but there's one category they didn't touch at all. And when you see what survived, it changes how you build everything. We went through every restriction, tested every available option, and built the loadout so you're ready on day 1. League Play is COD Mobile's competitive ranked playlist. It tries to get as close as possible to actual tournament play. 3 game modes only: Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, and Control. You get 10 loadout slots for Hardpoint and Control, and 10 separate slots for S&D. But these loadouts play by a completely different rule set than regular ranked. 3 score streaks, that's all you get. Hunter Killer Drone, Predator Missile, and EMP System. Same across every loadout, Respawn, and S&D. Set them once, never think about them again. 4 lethals are allowed: Sticky Grenade, Frag Grenade, Combat Axe, and Drill Charge. You're picking between the Frag and the Sticky. Whichever you prefer, it doesn't matter. The Combat Axe and Drill Charge exist, but they're not changing anyone's loadout decisions. 7 tactical items are technically available, but only 5 matter: Trophy System, Smoke Grenade, Flash Grenade, Concussion Grenade, and EMP Grenade. The other 2, Flash Strike and Inflatable Decoy, are in the mode, but they're not making into any serious loadout. Think of the 5 that matter as 3 choices. You either run a trophy to shut down enemy throwables, a smoke to break lines of sight and create cover, or one of the 3 disorienting grenades to disable enemies before you push. Trophy is the team player pick. It protects your spot but also tells enemies roughly where you are because of its placement. The others are more selfish. They let you make individual plays without giving up your precision. All 5 work. The right one depends entirely on your weapon category and role. We'll match those up in the loadouts. 9 operators survived: Equalizer, Purifier, Annihilator, Tempest, Death Machine, Claw, Sparrow, War Machine, and Gravity Vortex. They split into 3 groups by function. War Machine, Sparrow, and Gravity Vortex are area denial, knocking down zones, forcing enemies to reposition. Equalizer, Purifier, Claw, and Death Machine are for clearing objectives and tight spaces. Volume and Pressure. Tempest and Annihilator are solo play operators. High impact picks when you need to win a fight on your own terms. Gravity Vortex sits slightly behind the other 8. Everything else is equally viable depending on your weapon, your role, and whether you're running with a team or solo queuing. And the weapons? We'll get to those, but trust me, it's not what you would expect. Perks are where League Play strips the most away. 5 red perks: Lightweight End Skulker for movement speed, Flak Jacket, and Dauntless for damage resistance, and Iron Lungs for snipers, extending breath hold time. Movement perks are for aggressive plays, resistance perks for holding positions. The choice maps directly to your weapon and playstyle. 8 green perks made it in, but they're not all equally useful. Toughness for flinch resistance, this is the default for most loadouts. Gung-Ho for sprinting while reloading and hip firing. Essential for shotguns and aggressive SMG play. Amped for fast weapon swapping. Cold-blooded to completely avoid Hunter-Killer Drone auto-targeting. Ghost to stay invisible on Predator Missile radar. Serpentine to reduce incoming damage by 25% after sprinting for 2 seconds or more. Spikegraph to hack enemy field upgrades. In League Play specifically, that means stealing trophy systems. And Hardwired. It counters things that are already banned in League Play. Completely pointless. Skip it. 4 blue perks, but realistically, you're choosing between 2. Dead Silence and Tactical Mask. Those are the only 2 you'll use in any serious loadout. Shrapnel gives us an extra lethal. It's niche. And Firepower support buffs launcher damage against score streaks, but the available score streaks in League Play are so low impact that burning a blue perk slot to counter them faster is never worth it. So let's tally this up. Wildcards gone, over half the perks banned, most equipment restricted, operators trimmed to 9. Everything is locked down. So what did they do to the weapons? Not a single thing banned. 0 weapon bans, 0 attachment restrictions. Every gun, every attachment, everything is allowed. The SO14, the CX9 Burst, the HVK large caliber ammo, the XPR50, all legal. That means your weapon builds don't change. The meta inside League Play is identical to regular ranked. What changes is everything wrapped around them: the perks, the equipment, the operators, the secondaries. So where does that leave us for loadouts? 2 quick notes before we build. Score streaks are always Hunter Killer Drone, Predator Missile, and EMP. Set them once. Lethals or frag or sticky, your preference. We're not repeating those for every build. Everything from here is perks, tacticals, operators, and secondaries. Iron Lungs is the reason this loadout exists differently from everything else. Extended breath hold time matters in S&D, where every round is do or die and your holding angles longer. Lightweight for the red slot. Toughness for green. Dead silence for blue. Clean setup. Tactical, trophy system is the safest pick for a sniper. You're holding a position and the trophy protects it. If you have multiple sniper loadout slots, swap the second one to smoke for rotating between rounds. And since every secondary is legal, machine pistol, shorty, melee, whatever suits you. But consider the shorty specifically. It's the least expected thing an enemy will face at close range, and it finishes fights before they even start. Drop the trophy and respawn. Grenades are constant and a single trophy won't save you. Smoke grenade is your best friend for holding sniper lanes when explosives start raining in. Iron Lungs loses value here. You're repositioning more, holding angles less. Swap to lightweight for general mobility or flak jacket if you're sitting on lanes where grenades are a problem. The operator slot matters for respawn snipers. Annihilator. One shot, any range. It mirrors the sniper playstyle perfectly. If you want to dominate in a respawn sniper loadout, build around this operator and don't overthink it. Perks are automatic. Lightweight, gung-ho, dead silence. Shotgun players already know why. The tactical slot is where the decision actually matters. Every option works, but the philosophy behind each one is different. Trophy destroys enemy throwables, but it also broadcasts your approximate location. Smoke lets you close gaps or break a sight line you can't win. Flash, concussion, or EMP grenade disables enemies before you push into their space. For shotguns, the element of surprise is everything. If your whole plan is catching enemies off guard, a trophy defeats that by announcing where you're set up. I'd run anything except the trophy in this slot. Secondary needs to cover range, your shotgun can't. The 50GS, DJ358, or crossbow give you actual kill potential at mid-range. Or run a machine pistol or LCAR-9 for raw spam when you need to finish someone retreating. The S&D loadout works here unchanged, but respawn gives you room to adjust. You're absorbing more damage over time in respawn. Flak jacket and tactical mask become real options for the red and blue slots to survive grenades and disorienting effects. And this is the one moment in the entire video where a launcher makes sense as a secondary. The thumper. It won't generate kills, but clearing an angle before you push or softening an enemy sitting in a corner before you rush is often the difference between trading and winning clean. Operators, Tempest is the perfect fit for shotguns. But Equalizer and Purifier are both excellent for clearing tight spaces you're already fighting in. This covers your SMG players and Flex AR users who play up close. Whether it's a QQ9 or a Peacekeeper, the loadout logic is the same. Secondary, melee weapon for faster movement speed. Pick up guns off the ground when you need range at a distance. Tacticals depend on positioning. Inside the objective, trophy. Outside, go aggressive with flash, concussion, or EMP to create openings. Perks are where this category has the most flexibility. Playing inside the objective a lot means flak jacket plus tactical mask for survivability. Playing around it means dead silence for the blue slot and either skulker or lightweight for the red. Use Skulker if your gun benefits from a significant strafe speed increase, specifically guns with more than 4 meters per second of strafe speed. Otherwise, lightweight is the better general choice. Green perk rule: if your gun has more than 1 point of flinch, use Toughness. If your effective range is over 30 meters, use Toughness. In every other scenario, Gung-Ho for better movement is the pick in this loadout. Operators, Equalizer, Purifier, or Claw. A Claw specifically if you're the OBJ player and need to hold the zone. Equalizer and Purifier for clearing tight areas in general. ARs, LMGs, DMRs, the loadout structure splits based on weapon mobility. Flex ARs, Type 19, XM4, Peacekeeper, Lackman, pair with mobility perks, lightweight or skulker in the red slot. You're still repositioning and pushing. Slower options, PKM, MG42, SKS, Type 63, fit an anchor playstyle. Dauntless or flak jacket for the red slot. You're holding lanes and absorbing pressure. Green perk is simple. Outside of a few anomalies like the Type 19 and the Peacekeeper, Toughness is the most efficient option in this slot. Flinch resistance matters most at range. Blue perk, Dead Silence works in every situation. Tactical Mask is niche at best. The other two are not worth the slot. Tacticals split by role. Anchoring, Trophy, supporting near the site or rotating frequently, Flash, Concussion, or EMP. Leave the smokes to Shotgun and SMG players. This category has more operator options than any other loadout. Annihilator, Sparrow, War Machine, Death Machine, Gravity Vortex, Tempest, Claw, all work. Match them to what you're running. Flex ARs want something close range like the Tempest or Claw. LMGs pair with Explosives or the Death Machine. The MRs play naturally with the Annihilator. If you're picking up a gun you haven't used before in League play, match the operator to the range your weapon doesn't cover. The weapons didn't change. Everything around them did. And once you know the rule set, building for League play stops being complicated and starts being a checklist. If you want the full gun rankings and builds for regular ranked, the top 20 Season 4 video covers the entire weapon meta. And the Season 3 Loadouts video still applies for standard ranked, since League play restrictions don't exist there.